Good morning, dear students. So, we have come to the last act of the drama. This last act brings a joyful or happy ending for all the characters except Shylock. Shylock has lost everything. He is very sad, whereas Portia and Nerissa are happy that they have successfully completed their task. Bassanio and Graciano are happy that they have saved the life of their friend Antonio. Lorenzo and Jessica are happy that they are successfully doing the job of Portia and Bassanio. This scene begins with Lorenzo and Jessica. They are in Belmont, in the garden in front of Portia's house. They are in a very romantic mood. They are remembering the historical lovers, some of them who remained very faithful to each other, whereas some of them cheated each other. So Lorenzo begins the talk. He says, "The moon shines bright in such a night as this, when the sweet wind did gently kiss the trees, and they did make no noise in such a night. Troilus methinks mounted the Trojan walls, and sighed his soul toward the Grecian tents where Cressida lay that night." Lorenzo says, "It was such a bright light in such a night when the wind was so gentle, there was no noise, everything was silent, that Troilus used to climb on the wall of the Trojans and see his lover Cressida lying in the Grecian tents." Let me make you understand, dear students. Cressida and Troilus both were lovers. They had promised to each other that they would never leave each other in their life. They will remain faithful to each other. But it happened that there was war, and in the war, Greek people attacked the people of Trojan, and in that war of Trojan, Cressida was taken away by the Greece people, and there Cressida fell in love with the prince of Greece, whereas Troilus was not able to forget Cressida. Therefore, every night he used to climb on the wall and see where the Cressida would lie with her new lover. So Lorenzo was telling to Jessica that how Cressida had cheated Troilus, and how Troilus was very faithful to Cressida. In response to Lorenzo, Jessica says, In such a night did Tisbe fearfully overtrip the dew and saw the lion's shadow over himself and ran dismayed away. Jessica tells Lorenzo about the Babylonian story where Tisbe was in love with Pyramus. These both were neighbors. The parents of Tisbe and the parents of Pyramus were very strict. These both lovers were not allowed to meet each other. Therefore, they had made a hole in the wall, and through the wall they used to speak to each other. One day, Tisbe and Pyramus thought of meeting each other in the forest. So they had given the timing to each other. But unfortunately, Tisbe came little early. Tisbe, see, in such a night, Tisbe fearfully, she was frightened. And she stepped out of her house. It was winter season, dew had fallen. And as she had come out, she saw the shadow of a lion. She felt as if lion was roaring and it was about to attack her. Therefore, she ran away in dismay. She ran away from there. And while she ran away in hurry, she left her one cloth, and that lion was already eating the buffalo. When Tisbe's cloth was there, lion got angry. Since it was full with blood, it attacked the Tisbe's cloth. After that, when Pyramus came, he saw the clothes of Tisbe. He thought that lion had already killed Tisbe. Therefore, he became very sad. He took out his own sword and killed himself. So Jessica is telling, see, that how Tisbe and Pyramus, both till the end of their life, they remain faithful to each other. And Lorenzo says, in such a night stood Dido with a willow in her hand upon the wild sea banks and wafted her love to come again to Carthage. Lorenzo says, Dido was the princess of Carthage. Once there happened to come a prince through the sea. His name is given as Asian or Aryan, like this one name is there. I'm not very sure of his name, but he was there. He had fallen in love with Dido, and Dido also loved that man very much. She became pregnant. She gave birth to a child, but due to his own circumstances, one day Dido's lover at night, without telling Dido anything, escaped. And Dido used to go to the sea every day because he had come via ship. So she used to go every day to the sea, stand on the bank of the sea, and every day wave to all the ships just to make sure that her lover comes back again. Lorenzo says that not that all of them are very faithful in their love. He gives the example of Dido, that how Dido was cheated by her lover. Then Jessica says, in such a night Medea gathered the enchanted herbs that did renew old Aeson. So Jessica gives the other example of Medea, a young girl who helped Jason. I have told you earlier that how Jason had gone to bring the golden fleece, and with the help of Medea he could get those golden fleece, and while doing all these things her father-in-law became unconscious, and in such a moonlit night, Medea went to the forest. She collected some herbs, then made the powder, then boiled it, and it seems she cut off her father-in-law's throat, and through one vein she put that mixture in the old man's body, that is in her father-in-law's body, and also made him to drink some mixture. And once more Medea's father-in-law became young and all right. So Jessica says that there are lovers also not only take care of each other, but they take care of also each other's family. Then Lorenzo jokingly tells, in such a night did Jessica steal from the wealthy Jew, and with an untrapped love did run from Venice as far as Belmont. So Lorenzo says, in such a night Jessica left her father. She had stolen money and jewels from her father and ran away with such a lover who had no money, and from Venice to Belmont she has accompanied. Means Lorenzo is very proud that Jessica has remained faithful to Lorenzo. She has not cheated him. Jessica says, in such a night did young Lorenzo swear he loved her well, stealing her soul with many vows of faith and never a true one. So Jessica also fools Lorenzo. She says, in such a night did young Lorenzo also had made a vow or taken an oath that he would love her so much. He had made so many promises, vows, that he will never cheat her. But she says, not even one promise or one word of Lorenzo is true. Then Lorenzo says, in such a night did pretty Jessica like a little shrew slander her love and forgave it. Lorenzo says, in such a night, beautiful Jessica, like a shrewd woman, like a very clever lady who had left her father, whom Lorenzo had hurt, but she had forgiven him. She did not remember any of his mistakes. Then Jessica says, I will outnight you did nobody come, but hark, I hear the footing of a man. Jessica is telling Lorenzo in such kind of stories, she would never allow Lorenzo to win because she knows so many such stories, or she can give plenty of examples where the lovers remained faithful to each other. But she says, she listen. She is already hearing that somebody is coming towards them. Then Lorenzo immediately reacts. He says, who comes so fast in silence of the night? So Lorenzo wants to know that who is that person in such a silent night coming so quickly to them. The response comes, Stefano, a friend. That there is a man whose name is Stephen. He says, I am Stefano, your friend. Lorenzo says, a friend? What friend? Your name? I pray you, friend. So Lorenzo wants to know that friend. Who is that friend? He wants to know the name of such friend. Then Stefano responds is, Stefano is my name. And I bring word my mistress will before the break of the day be here at Belmont. She doth stray about by holy crosses, where she kneels and prays for her happy wedlock hours. Then Stefano says, my name is Stephen. I am here to make an announcement that my mistress, meaning Portia, will come back to Belmont by tomorrow, the day of break of the day. Mean by tomorrow morning she would be back to Belmont. She had already stayed she had already gone to different holy places where she had knelt before the crosses. She had prayed for her happy wedding life or for her happy married life. Lorenzo says, who comes with her? So Lorenzo wants to know that is she coming alone or somebody else is coming along with her. And Stefano says, none but a holy hermit and her maid. I pray you, is my master yet returned? Then Stefano tells to Lorenzo, no, none of the other persons is coming except one holy priest and her maid, that is Nerissa. So, along with Portia, one holy priest and her maid, both of them are coming. Then in that situation, Lorenzo wants to know, is Bassanio, is my master yet returned? Mean whether Bassanio has reached back or not. Lorenzo, he is not, nor we have not heard from him. So Lorenzo tells Stefano that so far Bassanio has not reached, neither any information is there about his coming. But go we in, I pray thee, Jessica, and ceremoniously let us prepare some welcome for the mistress of the house. Then he turns towards Jessica and tells, come on Jessica, we shall go inside and ceremoniously prepare for the welcome of Portia, who is coming back to her home. Meanwhile, Lancelot comes in search of Lorenzo. He says, sola, sola, ho, ha, ho, sola, sola. Hello, hello, where is, where, what, all those things he is shouting and yelling, and he is entering in the house. Then Lorenzo, who calls? Lorenzo asks him, who is that person who is shouting here, hello, hello, hello? Lorenzo says, Sola, did you see Master Lorenzo? Master Lorenzo, Sola, Sola. So Lancelot says, hello, did you See, or do you know where is Master Lorenzo? Hello, do you know where is Master Lorenzo? Then Lorenzo says, leave hauling man here. Leave hauling man here. Lorenzo says, don't shout, don't howl. Man, keep quiet. Lancelot once more says, Sola, where? Lancelot says, hello, where are you? Where are you? And Lorenzo says, here. Lorenzo says, I am very much here in this house. Lancelot tell him there is a post come from my master with his horn full of good news. My master will be there before morning. So Lancelot tells, please let me inform you. Let him inform you means to Lorenzo that there is a person who has come along with the passage that Bassanio would be coming back to Belmont by tomorrow morning. Lorenzo, sweet soul, let us in, and dare expect their coming, and yet no matter why should we go in. Lorenzo immediately tells Jessica, my dear sweet lady, let us go inside and eagerly wait for their coming so that we are able to give them a grand welcome. But at the same time, why? Why we should go in? Meaning, why they should be so anxious? Because already there are people who are there to prepare for the grand welcome. Then Stefano says, my friend Stefano, signify, I pray you, within the house, your mistress is at hand, and bring your music forth into the air. Then Lorenzo says to Stefano, my dear friend, inform to all the house people that Portia is going to come back. At the same times, bring forth your music in the air. And at the same time, get ready the welcome music for Portia. How sweet the moonlight sleeps upon this bank. Here will we sit and let the sound of music creep in our ears. Soft stillness and the night become the touches of sweet harmony. Lorenzo appreciates the moonlight. He says, such a beautiful scenery is here on this bank. Here he says, we will sit and let the sound of the music come into their ears. Mean they want to make that particular day a very much a day for remembrance. It tells us, sit Jessica, look how the floor of heaven is thick, inlaid with patterns of bright gold. There is not the smallest orb which thou beholdest, but in his motion like an angel sings still, choiring to the young-eyed cherubims. Such harmony is in immortal souls, but whilst this muddy vesture of decay thus grossly close it, we cannot hear it. Lorenzo tells to Jessica, please sit down. Look at the heaven. How beautifully that all the small tiny stars like the gold patterns are there. There is not a small orbit, or there is a small planet which is within the orbit. how like an angel it is making a motion and singing, how they are going about like a young cherubim accompanying to the young cherubims. This is such a way. There is so much harmony, there is so much music in our immortal souls. But while being in this particular situation, or by being in this modern time, we are so busy with our own works that we are not able to hear that immortal music that is there within our immortal souls. So what he is telling to Jessica is this, that every person has got an immortal soul which always likes music, but due to our overload of the work, we are not able to hear that music. And in the meanwhile, the musicians enter, he says them, come and make Dinah with the hymn, with sweetest touches pierce your mistress' ear and draw her home with music. So Lorenzo is welcoming the musician. He says, sing in such a way. He takes the name of Dinah. Dinah is known as goddess of music. That she used to sing in such a way that all used to listen to her. So Lorenzo says you should also create such kind of music that touches and pierces the ears of Portia and draw her home with music. So he tells the musicians that play such a beautiful, such a sweet music. When Portia hears that music, she feels that she is given a grand welcome. So students, this is how we have completed the first part of Act 5. I am sure this act is quite tough because so many names are given. Even I myself was getting confused with so many names. But surely when we will meet face to face each other, that time we will be able to explain in a better way. Thank you patiently for listening. Thank you for your patience, for listening to me. God bless you. Have a nice and wonderful day.